All right, welcome to day 4 of the Potent Profitability Project. I'm your host, Dr. Jenna Zellers. I'm excited to be here today. We are going to talk a little bit more about potent profitability and the strategy that I used to bring in my first 10K in 1 month online. So as you might realize, let me just make sure I'm live in my group here. What you might realize is that, let's see, I haven't talked about strategy yet because the strategy doesn't always matter. You could have any strategy in the world, and we became entrepreneurs to grow our business our way. But what do? We end up trying to copy the way other people are doing it, or we get stuck on the strategy. We think, oh, I think I should do it that way, so let me do it this way. And we get sometimes even wrapped up in the strategy of how to bring in the money. So I want to share a few simple shifts that I made over the last month or two to be able to do this. Let me recap what we've covered so far in this 5-day Potent Profitability Project. Day 1, we talked about the belief system. So you have to have a potent belief practice so that you, instead of telling yourself negative thoughts, you tell yourself positive thoughts, and you have to believe those thoughts. When I showed up and did day 1 for this 5-day project, I actually had these yucky beliefs that were behind my energy of how I showed up that day. I was believing, even with all the work that I've done and even with the steps that I've taken, and I was believing, I was teaching something new that I hadn't taught before, and it was really about profitability and making money online. And I was like, who am I to teach this? Who am I to teach this? Topics that I've taught before, I went through that as well. But what happened is I ended up feeling very confident to talk about it. And so that belief system would go away. But the whole money thing, it was something I've never talked about. I just made my first month of 10K. And so I was like, who am I? Who am I to do this? So that was the belief that was showing up, and I felt very yucky on the call on day 1. And you might even watch my progression of how I show up over these last couple days and realize, oh, she's getting better. I don't know what you'll notice, but for me, it was definitely big and noticeable. So what I did on day 2, I talked about what I did to shift that energy. So it's always perfect how things work out. You might show up and you might bomb day 1 of your challenge, but it becomes a learning experience if we allow it to be. So I could have, showed up on day 1 and go, oh, this sucks. Nobody wants to hear me. Yeah, who am I anyways to talk about this? And I could have said, well, I'm just going to turn off this 5-day challenge. I'm not ready for it. I'm not good enough. Maybe I'll do it next month. Maybe I'll do it when coronavirus is over. Maybe I'll do it when I bring in 10K a month consistently for 3 months. I could have done all of that. We do things to ourselves like that, don't we? We talk ourselves out of it. But here's the thing. In life and business, there are many obstacles. A lot of them are self-imposed, and a lot of them are in between our ears. We grow and evolve by going through the obstacles, by pushing through the obstacles. When we bypass the obstacles and try to go around them, it doesn't help us. Obstacles are hard. Obstacles are challenging. They are uncomfortable. They can be awkward. Day 1 of me showing up, and you guys might have loved everything I said on day 1. I didn't love it. I didn't like who I was being. I didn't like who I was being on day 1. I felt yucky. I could have gone around the obstacle, closed down the challenge, and said, I'll see you next time. Instead, I said, no, I'm doing what I said I'm going to do, even if 2 people show up, even if 1 person shows up. Okay? There's 2 people on the line right now. That's awesome. I'm so glad you're here. Who else is with me? I know Shara and Natalie. Perfect. Hi, Shara. Good to see you. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to hear from you. I know you have a lot going on, and I know that this is like helping you so much. So I pushed through the obstacle and I learned something about myself. I fixed my issue at the root. I uncovered that I had this negative belief system that I wasn't good enough, that I was trying to be an imposter syndrome, all of that. So then on day 2, we talked about energy and how the energy to call in what it is that you desire has to do with owning who you are, like the truth and the beliefs, and coming up and telling yourself your potent beliefs. So instead of me saying, who am I to be talking about this? I shifted my belief to everything I say has a purpose. I speak with purpose. And knowing that I have the ability to shift my mind just like that has helped give me the fuel to continue to show up for you. And I know that I love that this is recorded because people can catch this later as well. So the energy of how I was able to show up on day 2 completely shifted when I shifted my beliefs. And I anchored into that belief. So a lot of times we have to, if we tell ourselves something, right, we have to bring our energy to match it. And a lot of that has to do with meditation, like pumping yourself up. I love what Tony Robbins does every day. He does, maybe you guys know about this, he does, he calls it priming, and I think he does it for like 8 to 20 minutes, but he like bounces and bounces and breathes. You know, he does all of these really cool practices, and maybe we should all adopt some of his practices too, but you have to find what works for you. What works for me is laying in bed and setting my intentions for how I want to be for the day, right? If we don't do that, then the world comes in and lets us decide and decides for us how our day is going to roll out. So my practice, and it's very simple because I'm already in bed, I wake up and I lay there for a good 20 minutes meditating, but not really meditating. I'm also still like just resting, and I'm upgrading my vessel. Like, okay, make me happy, make me smart, make me potent, make me energetic, make me strong, healthy, happy, all of that. Like, and you just picture that, and I raise my vibration as I'm doing that. So on day 3, we talked about the bold action. So when you have this potent belief practice with really good energy, then you're able to then take those potent steps forward and take bold, aligned action that is in alignment with who you want to be, who you desire to be. And then you take the action and it allows you to be that person. Does that make sense? So then today we talk about strategy. And again, this is where we get stuck, right? This is where we get stuck. Yesterday I talked about we've been programmed to think that we have to work harder. But what if we worked smarter instead? Smarter, not harder. And I think that this is where the strategy comes in, because a lot of coaches teach strategy. A lot of courses teach strategy. I'm leading a course right now that teaches strategy. And what I want you to know is that there's no one secret strategy. Yes, please, smart, not hard. There's no one magic strategy. But I do believe that there is a magic strategy for you. I recently started working with a coach who's really helped, and I attribute my I attribute the work that I've done with her to my like ability to bring in 10K. And we're going to talk about this a lot tomorrow, is the coaching aspect, and how when you enroll into a new, it's like a higher caliber, like I'm being held to this new standard in my coaching program. And so that alone has helped me bring in my income. But there was a strategy involved. But what she taught, what I love and I want to impart on you, is I want to ask you, what is the most pleasurable, fun, exciting, expansive way that you could grow your business? That's the strategy that you use. Yesterday, Shara came on and we talked a little bit about strategy. You know, she just wants to speak. She wants to speak. She loves speaking. So part of her strategy will be speaking. A lot of times we do what we think we should be doing, and that doesn't help us, right? That gets us sometimes further away from getting the results that we desire. I will share a little bit about my strategy. I'll give you guys some overview. But what I want to show, and I'm going to share my screen here, is this guy right here. Okay. So if you're wanting to call in your first 10,000, I want you to just look at this. If you can picture bringing in your first 10,000, or maybe you're above that. Maybe you're ready to bring in your next 20,000. The same advice applies. Maybe you just want 1,000. If you can believe it, it is already out there in your field, which is so awesome, right? To know that it's already available to us. We just have to call it in. So then you have to ask yourself, what's the most fun, pleasurable, expansive, and easy way you could bring it in? And I don't say easy because it's not always going to be easy, and I don't want you to look for the easy way. But I do want you to think like it doesn't have to be hard either. So when I was getting ready to launch my program, I had been talking to several people, and I knew in my mind they need to be in my program. My program would answer their problems. My program would solve their problems. I was talking to several, mostly chiropractors, but other healers, and I just knew they need my program. This will help them. They want an online program. They want people to buy their online program. They want to work smarter, not harder. And so I had been talking to all these people, and I knew that I could, what I desired to offer and what they needed were very much in alignment. So I spent some time really syncing up who they were, what they needed with what I had to offer. And then I created the virtual program incubator. So I said, okay, at first it was a 30-day program, and I was talking to these people, and 30 days, like, I don't think they were ready to jump into a program and in 30 days get the results. I realized that the people I was talking to needed more time. So I changed it to 90 days. And then I created a price structure that I knew would be a small stretch for them, but would be an easy yes at the same time, if that makes sense. So when you have programs, like when you coach someone, like every time I've ever invested in myself into a transformation, it was always a stretch. Like, oh my gosh, if I do this, am I going to have to worry about the other bills? Or if I do this, I'm really going to have to put myself to work here. That's a good thing because it inspires the people to take action. It's like terrifying and exciting at the same time. So I created a price that I felt really good about. And I went ahead and I offered it to my people that I had been talking to. I would say 90% of the people who I had in mind, maybe only 80 to 90% of the people who I had in mind, who I'd already been talking to, had already had a relationship with, who I knew that my program would solve them, I simply just messaged them and said, hey, this is what I'm thinking of doing. How does this sound? 90 days, this price. 80 to 90% of them said yes, boom, they were in. And I had a large influx of cash. I'm going to just tell you, my price was, I started off with a few people at a price in this range. And then I was like, okay, I need to charge more. So then I started off with this range. And by the end of it, I had $10,000 within 2 weeks. So that was really cool. And it was easy. And they're in my program and I'm helping them. And then I started talking to my coach and she's like, your program, you need to raise the price. Your program needs to be in this range. So now, instead of working so hard to get a large number of people, right, I can work less hard. It's going to be easier. Yes, the price will be more, but it's going to be easier to just talk to 3, 4, or 5 people. If I'm talking to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people, that's a lot of conversations. When you raise your price, then there's less people that you need to talk to. And you're offering them a bigger solution. I will tell you, the people who invested the higher amount of money in the program are showing up more. They're going to get better results. They're showing up more. The more you pay, the more you value. Does that make sense? So this is just like, what feels good to you? What do you have to offer that feels really exciting? I had one client, what if you could create a program that was worth $10,000 and all you needed was one person? And then what if you did that every single month? What if you did that 2 times a month? The level of service that you provide would be amazing, right? And then you would only need 1 or 2 clients each month to hit your goals. I'm going to close this. When you go out there and you try to build your program and you try to enroll people, what you want to do in your online messaging and how you show up is and we covered this a little bit with Shara yesterday, what you want to do is you want to teach the what and the why. And then your program is the how. That hopefully you already know that. The program that you create is the how. So the how is the implementation, the accountability, the support, all the answers, the guidebook, all of this. Like, they enroll in the how. They like you, they're following you because of the what and the why. You're helping them open their eyes to what's possible when you teach the what and the why for free. You charge for the how. The what and the why is information we could go out there and get on Google, on podcasts. There's no shortage of information out there. The reason people are paying less for information is because there's so much free information. What people are paying for is a transformation, is the how. Because as your job as a coach, healer, chiropractor, as you hold space for people and you enroll them into your program, you're basically putting your arms out for them and saying, come with me. I'm going to support you. I'm going to hold space for you to get this transformation that you desire. And then what you also want to do in your messaging, and this is all strategy, is you what's the saying? The saying goes, it's like, shoot, I just had it and I forgot it, but basically it's like, teach them. This is gonna bother me. It'll come back to me, but it's like you sell them, share with them what they want, sell them what they need. That's not the saying. Maybe you guys have heard the saying. I'm botching it up here. I've said this a million times. Now the words aren't coming to me. Teach them what they want. Give them what they want. Give them what they want. Sell them what they need. That's the saying. So as I say this, as you think about your prospects who are already on your radar, who are already out there in your field, who are already ready to give you their money, what do they want? That's what you want to give them. What do they want? What do they want? What are they desiring? Give them that in your free messaging. Give them that in your Facebook Lives, in your podcast. Give them that in your 5-day challenges, your lead magnets. Give them what they want. Sell them what they need. What do they need? They need a transformation. So for me, my clients, so right now I have the virtual program incubator. What they want is to make money online. So what I'm giving you right now is advice on how to make money online. What you need is the incubator. The incubator gives you everything that you need. It gives you strategy, gives you how-tos. It's a container of support to hold your hand and really help you implement it, because you're going to have questions that come along the way. You're going to have blocks. You're going to not see your potential. A coach helps you with that. So the virtual program incubator, what I give away for free is what you want. You want tips on the strategy. You want tips on the energetic, like how to show up energetically. You want ways to get over your blocks. What you need is the container to help you do every step along the way. Does that make sense? And so as I get ready to create my next program, what I'm realizing is that the people in the incubator, even when you have all the steps in front of you to launch your online program, there's something more that you need. What do entrepreneurs struggle with the most? It's those obstacles, right? It's those glass ceilings that we impose upon ourselves. I just had this meditation yesterday. When I meditate, I see and feel things. So it's not like I'm just clearing my mind and I'm like raising my vibration. Like I see things in my vibration, in my meditations. And yesterday I saw my self-imposed glass ceiling. And I want to explain what I think it looks like here. What I saw. I feel like this happened in a cartoon like The Simpsons, but I don't really know for sure. I think it was The Simpsons. I don't watch a lot of TV. But I'm picturing like this town, like this desert town. And then there's like this glass bubble over this town. Like it's like a ecosphere. So they're in this glass bubble. So all the people in the community are being stuck inside of like this glass bubble. But there's still more countryside. There's still like life on the other side of the bubble. It's a glass ceiling, right? Like, we're limited by this glass ceiling. I also feel like what's happening with the riots and the coronavirus, like, we've been put into this like bubble, like, don't do this, you can't live like that, you have to be like this, you have to stay in your home, you can't go far, like all of this stuff, right? On top of that, in our lifetime, we've added rules and stipulations and guidelines to who we can be. We've created this glass bubble, and we've been conditioned to believe that we have this glass ceiling over us, that we can only go so far. So you've heard people breaking through glass ceilings, like the next level, right? It's your next level. What I believe is the greatest struggle that I've had as an entrepreneur, and that I help a lot of people with, and it's like the next level of support that I can give is helping people break through these glass ceilings to get through these self-imposed limitations. So usually glass we can see through, right? We can see through glass. So we see the other side. We see what's possible. We see that there's life beyond this, but we're stuck. We feel the weight of being stuck. We feel it, but we also get used to it. We also, what's the word? We accept it. It is the way that it is. But our souls are having a really hard time accepting it, aren't they? And that's the struggle. We've accepted it on a mental level, but our spirit's like, no, I want to get to the other side. I'm excited. I want to get to the other side. So this is the first time I've explained this, so bear with me. What I also believe happens is we get jaded, and we have all this crap that piles on top of the glass ceiling. So instead of the glass being clean and we can see through it, the glass starts to get dirty and mucky and yucky and heavy and like really gross, that it actually like clouds our vision, and we no longer can see to the other side because we've accepted it for too long. We've gotten too used to it. And so our spirit stays stuck, and so does our mind, and we get this like it's like a black cloud. It's just really yucky, mucky, gross, and heavy. And then it starts to burn us out. And then it really starts to affect our energy, because our spirit is stuck behind this dirty glass ceiling. We no longer can see through it. So in my meditation yesterday, that's what I felt this yucky, mucky, black glass ceiling that I couldn't see the other side. But as I laid there and I just kept like going through this visualization, all of a sudden I saw that there was like this hole, this glass hole. Like somebody had taken like a 3-hole puncher and made this perfectly round, clean hole in the glass, like almost like a breathe, in like a pet container, like a, what's it called, fishbowl, like a fishbowl. But if you had like a lizard or something, it would have these like tiny little glass holes so that the lizard could breathe but couldn't get out. So I saw these like holes peeking through this dark glass ceiling, and the light was coming through, and it was like the most pristine blue bright light ever. It was like pure, clean, no problems. So I was like, oh, all it is like I just have to like teleport myself from this side of the glass ceiling to the other side of the glass ceiling. Okay, Shara, you have a great day. I hope that this was good for you. So the portal is my next program that I'm creating. And Shara, I hope you got my message. I would love to do that potency audit with you. So if you're still with us, just know that that's available for you. So I had been knowing for a while that I wanted to have another program. And I already knew I wanted to call it the portal. But I didn't know exactly like what happens as we create programs is they have to be and this is why I loved the name incubator, because when you incubate something, they come to life. So this virtual program incubator has been an incubator for my members to birth their program. When you get pregnant and you conceive, right, you're incubating life for 9 months. 9 months, it's growing and evolving and getting ready to be shared with the world. Your program is the same thing. So as you create your program, you're incubating it, you're giving it life, it's evolving, it's growing. So I had conceived the message of the portal, which I haven't launched yet. I'm kind of in a pre-launch right now for it, actually. So I'm talking, the reason this is applicable is I'm talking about strategy today. So I'm birthing this idea of the portal. And then, like, what happened? I had this meditation that allowed me to see what actually happens. Like, there's the experience that I would take people through, right? When you have a program, you have to make sure that you know what the result is that you offer. So the result wasn't very clear until yesterday. What I want to do is help people break through their glass ceilings. That's what the portal is going to be all about. You have the virtual program incubator. Anyone who joins the portal is going to be able to not only incubate their program, but also break through their self-imposed glass ceilings. Some people don't have glass ceilings and they just need the incubator, which is awesome, right? But as you put yourself out there as an entrepreneur, you run into obstacles. That's where coaching comes in. That's where like time away comes in. What else? So I hope this is making sense. Natalie, are you still with me? How are you liking this message today? So tomorrow we're going to talk about the last piece. We're going to tie it all together. The strategy is it's not about exactly what you do, because you're the boss. You make the rules. The strategy is about, it's almost like letting your intuition guide you. If I could give any tip to anybody and they're asking like, well, what should I do? Instead of asking, like, what I like to help my clients with is following what feels the best, following what feels most aligned, following what you're so excited about, because that'll help your belief system. It all goes back to what we've already covered. What do you believe in? If you believe you have the most amazing program and you want to shout it out to the rooftops, shout it out to the rooftops. That's your strategy, and you will call people in. If you believe in your program, if you believe in what you have to offer, you're also going to be very energetically aligned. And sometimes just having that energy is magnetic and calls people through. But if there's a block or we talked yesterday about the party, right? A lot of people say let's say your program, like you want to have a coaching program. Let's pretend that your coaching program is like a party at your house. You want to have a party at your house. So you want to invite all these people over to your house and come to your party. But if your house is messy, you're going to think to yourself, well, I don't want to have a party until my house is clean. I don't want to invite anyone over till my house is clean. But you never clean your house. So you run into one of your friends at the store and you're thinking, it'd be so fun if we could have a party. It'd be so fun if I could invite them over. But what happens is you don't, because you haven't cleaned your house yet. That's like the blocks, right? You want to have your coaching program, but you think, oh, well, I'm not good enough yet, or I'm not a good enough coach yet, or I need to have my website built before, or I need to have my certification, or whatever you think you need, right? You have to attack that first. That's the clean house. You have to clean your house first before you can do what you want to do. So a lot of people, and I've done this before, like I wanted to have a coaching program too, but I felt like, oh, I needed to have X, Y, and Z done first. I didn't have a clean house yet. But when you clean house, so let's say my house is clean, I go to the store and I run into my friend and I'm like, sweet, there's no reason why I can't invite them over now. My house is clean, I'm gonna go and invite them over. So then I can have my party because I've done the work. I've laid the foundation to create the results that I want. We have to do that too. That's part of our strategy. Cleaning the blocks. What's the energy behind your strategy? Clean the blocks, clean your house, clear the blocks, take the bold action, and then the strategy is build the business your way. Build your business. Invite people in. Give those potent calls to action. Those are some things that I teach in the incubator. How to have the right copy, how to say what you want to say, how to teach the what and the why so that you can charge for the how. What else? What else? What else? Natalie, do you have any questions? I know someone else is live. I can't tell who's live here today. Hi, Aunt Vicki, I'm glad you're here. What questions do you have about the strategy? I'll wait just a moment. Sometimes it's a good idea to definitely your program. You want your program to answer one question. So, like your program, you want to solve one problem, right? I was talking to Athena earlier, who's doing this program, and she's in the incubator. She is a chiropractor, and she wants to teach mindset, and she wants to teach healthy eating. So her chiropractic care, when people come into her office, they might not want all of that, but she can sell them chiropractic. She can also have a mindset program that only teaches mindset. Solve one problem. Later, after she gets the mindset program piece together, then she can go and create a course on healthy eating. Some people might want all three. Some people might just want one or two. So your program can't solve everyone's problems. Your program has to pick, you have to pick one group of people, like a certain type of person. You call that your avatar or your ideal client, right? Mine would be a coach, chiropractor, or healer who's wanting to go big online. And so my program offers the solution, the result with the virtual program incubator. The result that they have no online program to being able to sell an online program. That's the result they get in the incubator. When I launch and promote the portal, what they're going to get is clearing the glass, like they're going to be breaking through the glass ceiling. Getting rid of all of their limitations, getting over their blocks so that they can do their most meaningful work, so that they can see who they're capable of being. That's the result that the portal's going to get. Portals you to your next level. It's the portal. Natalie says, no questions, great info, working on figuring out that result for people. Natalie, do you want to jump on and do a little bit of coaching on this? I know you have some children in the background sometimes. Do you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes? We could dive in and nail down the result that you can get for people? Building bunk beds. Okay, I guess that's a no. So what I would like to offer you, whether you're watching this live or the replay, if these tips have been valuable for you, if they've been eye-opening, if you can see yourself implementing a lot of the things that I've talked about over the last 4 days, if you're ready to step into your potency, if you're ready to build your life and business around your gifts, if you're ready to do your most meaningful work, and you know that you are just a few simple shifts away from major breakthroughs in both life and business and getting this meaningful work out to the world, if all of that sounds like you, then I want to get on the phone with you and offer you what I like to call a potency audit, where we go through different elements of your life, different elements of your desires, different elements of your business, different elements of the whole picture of where you've been, where you want to go. And we dissect all of these different elements to uncover the most potent elements that you can bring to the table and start sharing. And we will uncover the pieces of your being that you can also make a few simple shifts to put out there in a very meaningful, potent way. So like my Aunt Vicky, she's watching right now. She has shared with me about human design. Human design, and you can go to human design, you can go and research and get your own human design. What it is there's like 5 main types of people out there. There's manifestors, there's generators, there's reflectors. I think generators, my aunt told me there's like, we should bring her on and we could do like a quick intro into the human design. I think that would be really fun. But there's like different parts of what make you up. Like just because you see someone else doing something doesn't mean that that's what you should be doing, because you might not be designed to do life and business that way, right? We have to tap into your gifts and make sure that we don't try to force you to be someone. Like you don't want to try to put yourself in a box. You want to be free to express yourself in your own authentic way. And by doing that, you can be your most potent self. And when you can be your most potent self, I also believe that's the path to being your most fulfilled self, most profitable self, most aligned self, most congruent self, most effective self as a human, as an entrepreneur, as a servant leader, as someone who is here to help evolve the human race. We have to help you tap into your potency, not anyone else's potency. So the potency audit will help you do that, help you see how what you already have available on your radar, what you already have available to utilize and leverage at your fingertips. We can help you tap into that and know what your next potent step is to bring in more of the results that you desire. So that's what I will offer for anyone interested in taking this work to the next level, is a free complimentary potency audit that will leave you with a couple great steps and strategies and clarity on who you are with your gifts, your talents, and all of that. So that's just an overview of what I'm offering. If that's something you want, then you need to message me and let me know that you would like to schedule that. And then I'll just ask you a couple questions and make sure that you're the right fit, because I am going to be giving you a lot of my time. I don't expect anything in return. I just want to make sure that you meet the criteria of jumping on this call. And And then we'll do that, and you'll have your next steps to be more potent. So tomorrow I'm going to step up and I'm going to tie all these pieces together, and give you my last few tips to step into your potent profitability potential. I hope that this was helpful for you. Please feel free to comment below or message me and let me know if this was eye-opening for you. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself, and not only for yourself. I know when you show up for yourself, you're really searching for how you can help more people in a bigger and better way. So I recognize that, and I know what that feels like. And I want to just tell you, keep doing it, because the more you do it, the more answers you will get, and the more fulfilled you will become in this journey, because I know you are here to help other people, and together we can really help this world evolve and grow and heal. And I know that we were all born to do this work. So let me know if you have any questions. Thanks again for showing up, and I will see you soon.